Hello, I'm Scott Bogie here with your Cage Warriors bantamweight fighter, Ieuan Mackenzie, ahead of his upcoming fight against Keir Harvie at Cage Warriors 180 for 193. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming fight?
Yeah, I mean, in general, with all fights, super confident, diligent in my prep and all that. Not leaving any stone unturned. So I know I'm doing everything right leading up to it. So yeah, pretty good.
And what do you feel like your real strengths are coming into the fight?
I think I have more tools in the toolbox in a way. I don't really want to give too much away,
No,
obviously
yeah.
leading up to the fight, but I definitely see way more ways for me to win this fight. I mean, that's evident when you kind of look at our records, and I've got a 100% finish rate for a reason. I think he has only finished about three of his pro victories, or four out of his eight pro victories. But equally, I don't think he's ever been finished. So I think it's kind of like one of those unstoppable force and immovable objects, right? Is my 100% finish rate gonna stay intact, or am I going to be able to finish him? Is he going to try to be able to
Yeah.
try and finish me? I think it's super interesting on paper. Like I said, I don't think he's ever been finished. I've got 100% finish rate, so I think that makes for a really interesting matchup.
And you got back into that win column back in February this year with that third round submission victory. How good was it being able to get that?
Yeah, obviously, um, coming off the back of two losses, there was a lot of pressure. But to be honest, when I was in there, I didn't really feel the pressure in that way, Or what would have happened if I'd taken a third loss on the bounce? Who knows? But I kind of put that to the back of my mind, to be honest. And again, I just trusted in my prep. Uh, trusted that everything happens for a reason. I'd worked hard. There wasn't anything that was going to stop me getting a win that day. But I think that one thing I'm really happy about with that fight, the fact that I went to the third round and I still managed to get the finish, shows that like no matter where the fight goes, um, I'm able to finish fights because I think
Yeah.
for my amateur career and my pro career, all my finishes had come in the first round. So I never, if it had gone out of the first round, it always went to a decision. So it's good to like show everyone and show myself that if the fight goes into those later rounds, I'm still able to finish the fight.
And you talk about your amateur career. During that time, you were able to go to the IMAFs. Now, how was that experience? Because obviously, they have guys that fight in the IMAFs who don't leave. That's just their whole career is fighting in the IMAFs, even though they
Yeah.
are ridiculously strong. But how was your experience in the IMAFs?
Yeah, I mean, when I went to the MLS twice, once in 2019 and then in
Yeah.
2022. When I went in 2019, I think I just turned 18, not long turned 18, so I was super young going into it. Wasn't super confident in my ability. I only had two amateur fights. I think it was just natural to not be the most confident in the world, but I was there obviously to get the experience.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got drawn against that Russian in my first fight, beating him because he was the number one seed as well, was just like it was a massive turning point for me, and my confidence and stuff kind of showed me that like, there is something here with this MMA stuff. So yeah, I mean the first time was an unreal experience. Second time, obviously, I went in there with that previous experience with
Yeah.
a better head on my shoulders, and yeah, obviously, I got one win, one loss both times I went out there. The result didn't exactly go how I wanted it to, but again, I'm super grateful. Like I said, I believe that everything happens for a reason, and everything that's kind of all those moments from my amateur career, my pro career lead to the next moment, which is this fight.
And then you are coming back into the Cage Warriors banner. You were with them at the featherweight division last time. You did get drawn up against Solomon. Do you feel like coming back, knowing how they kind of run their shows with that kind of experience, kind of helps you in the longer run?
Yeah, I mean, I know how it runs, how it's all going to be set out during the week, and yeah, it was a brilliant show last time. Really enjoyed it. It's the right time to come back, and obviously my natural weight as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited to show what I could do with the Cage Warriors bantamweight division. Make a big statement.
And obviously, there is a lot of tough prospects in the bantamweight division in particular. You do have just on this card alone, you have Rhys McEwen, you have Wesley Maya in that division, you have got Liam Gittin to champion. Do you feel like the bantamweight division is one of the toughest one in Cavers just now?
Yeah, from the top of my head, I'd say it is the toughest division in cage wars right now. I mean, even in the UFC, the bantamweight division is just the killer's
Yeah,
row, right? No matter where you go at bantamweight, it feels like in a sense it's becoming the new lightweight division. Just every fight being tough. But to be honest, in terms of the cage wars bantamweights, I think I match up really well against a lot of them. I haven't really been able to show quite what I can do on the feet yet. You know, hopefully I'll be able to show some of that this fight again. I don't want to give too much away, but
yeah.
I'd love to be able to show what I can do in this fight, kind of add that extra wrinkle to my game, give everyone something to be aware of because I can handle myself on the ground and in the wrestling against anyone at this weight class. So when I show that I can do that on the feet as well, I think I'm going to match up really well against some of these bantamweights.
And how good would it feel if I'm not sure what Cavers have planned in 2026, but to get a show back in Wales?
Yeah, I mean I know they came to Cardiff. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think pretty sure Reece McEwen fought on that show. I feel like I can't remember who headlined it. I think it was like Darren Stewart or something. But the Vale Arena where they hosted it last time is a 10-minute walk away from my house. It's actually, I could probably run there in about 2 minutes. So, you know, if I have to be the guy to try and bring it back to Cardiff, then I will do everything I can. I would love for them to come back to Cardiff. If they come to the Vale Arena or down the Bay, again, they're all super close to my house, so it'd be awesome to fight such a big show so close to home. And I've never actually fought in Cardiff. I was born and raised here, and from my entire amateur pro career, I've never ever once fought in Cardiff. So yeah, it'd be awesome to have an event over here.
and then how often are you wanting to fight in Caveworth? Are you wanting to get back in there before the end of the year? I know they've got quite a few shows in November coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice they checked a couple November dates over. To be honest, they've offered a multi-fight deal. We are keeping the one fight deal for now, but like I said, we'll see how this fight goes, and if we think it's the right move, we'll sign a multi-fight deal with them. But no matter what happens, whether it's Cage Warriors or somewhere else, I am I'm confident that I'll get another fight in this year after this one.
And you did have your last fight in Budo Fighting Championship. How good has that been just for helping people from Wales get into the game?
Yeah, I mean, one thing in Wales that we don't really have is a big show, right?
Yeah,
Like if you go into England, you've got FCC, UKFC, um, Almighty. I mean, there's just a couple off the top of my head that these are always huge shows that get a lot of coverage. And we've got a couple in South Wales, like Budo and Adrenaline, but
yeah.
they don't really get the recognition they deserve as shows. And they're certainly like classed as like the smaller regional shows. So they're leveling up every time, and I'm pretty confident those shows will eventually become bigger and bigger. But
And
yeah,
and how big is it for the Mason Jones, Open Elliott coming out there, being able to represent Wales on their back and be able to do what they're doing in the cage?
yeah. I mean, Mason's one of my main training partners, right? I train with Mason pretty much every day of the week. So to see what he's doing is always like great for us guys coming up that show that it is possible, from these small gyms in Wales to go and make it to the big shows. And like I learn a lot. I learn a lot off him every day. And yeah, if one person can do it from a small town in Wales, then I don't see why the rest of us can't.
And I think what was great about Mason is he had that run in the UFC before, and then he came back to Cave Warriors, was absolutely phenomenal, had that absolute war, and then came back and it's like he's never left. He went in there, got that stoppage last, what I think it was a stoppage, and then he's now in the Paris card. How far do you feel like he can go in that UFC division?
Yeah, I mean, Mason is one of those guys, very, very stubborn. If he puts his mind to something, he's going to get there. If he wants to go for that title, I have no doubt in my mind that if he does everything right, he can make it there. And also like I think this time around with the UFC, he's got a much better head on his shoulders, right? I think he was only 25, 26 when he first got in. Um, he also went in at like that weird time of COVID where there was
Yeah.
crowds and then there wasn't crowds. And I think that threw him off a little bit. But, this second time around, he's showing that he belongs there. This coming Saturday, I have no doubt he's going to get the job done in Paris. And that'll spur me on again to get the victory the week after.
And what do you feel like? What are you going to do after you're able to get the victory?
I think I'll have do you mean me or Mason? Sorry.
You.
Oh, right. Okay. I mean, after I get the win, I think there'll be loads of options on the table for me. I think that's one good thing about this one fight deal is that there's going to be options. I feel from different shows, especially if I make a big statement win against someone who's experienced as Keir Harvie with all the names he's been in there with. He's fought on shows in South Africa, Bellator, I think, or Bama. He was on as well. Like he's been
Yeah.
all over the place. So to get a win over him, to do it in statement fashion, it's going to open up a lot of doors for me.
And is there anything that you like to do as well after a fight? Like any particular food you like to have? Any particular hobby that you do afterwards?
Yeah, I love food. To be honest, after a fight, either a burger or a pizza, just like the most calorific, unhealthy meal possible, I will consume it. I'm not fussy, to be honest. I'll eat anything after a fight.
And like, and so if you know any good burger or pizza places, make sure you drop them down. And you said
Yeah.
that it opened up a big opportunity with this win. Do you feel like after this fight, as long as a lot of money is right and the opportunity is there, you want a big fight next, like a level of Reese McEwen or potentially a
Yeah,
Cameron Else or that?
yeah. I mean, I think Cameron else retired after his fight against Shirzad.
I
I think he
think I
was saying
did.
backstage that he's done. Yeah, not
Yeah, but
officially,
then
but I think he was saying he's done.
I think I saw the other day he was calling out Alexander Loof as well at featherweight.
Oh, right.
So I
Well,
don't know what's happened with him.
yeah, maybe he just wants to have fun fights at featherweight now. But like might sound cocky to say, but like a name like that, I'd want a big fight. Like God, I can't really figure the names off the top of my head. But if I get this, if I or when I get this win, if I decide to stay with Cage Warriors, I wouldn't be surprised if I was only one or two more away from a title shot because it's a tough fight to come into the Division Two. It's not like a tune-up fight or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I get this win, one more end of the year, then I think I could be, one fight off a title fight then.
And do you feel like the title picture is going to become a lot more open very soon? Because it looks like you're going to have Gittins versus Shirzad next. The winner of that potentially goes to that next level, which would then leave that
Yeah,
title vacant for two spaces.
yeah, exactly. And this is why I think it's a really good time to, get into the bantamweight division in Cage Warriors because that title's going to be vacant probably. If I assume Shirzad and Gittins are probably going to fight in November, December, I assume that Manchester makes sense. So I get this win. I fight on that card too, on the Manchester card. Title goes vacant. I could even be next in line then if obviously everything's got to fall into
Yeah.
place. And I don't want to say that I deserve the title shot or anything, but if I get two big wins and everything falls into place, then you never know. It could be a number one contender or a title fight.
And you guys will make sure to tune in to Cave Wars 193, where you can see definitely the fight of the night contender right here. Is there anyone you're wanting to shout out or anything else you'd like to add?
Just shout out to my teammates at Craigie's Academy, Celtic Pride. Yeah, my nutritionist, everyone that's helped me through, they all know who they are. So yeah, I can't wait to show out in a couple of weeks.
It's going to be great, and we can't wait to see you get that victory. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.